Good afternoon, folks, and welcome to Lisa Loves. I felt compelled to do a little review for you on a TV show I watched very recently by Ricky Gervais called Afterlife. Now, Ricky Gervais is a chalk and cheese kind of guy. You either love him or you hate him. Maybe you're in the middle, who knows, but most people are one way or the other. Ricky Gervais, for anyone in America that isn't really that aware of him, he is responsible for penning the original Office that then was made in the US with Steve Carell, very successful, but Ricky Gervais was responsible for the original with Stephen Merchant. He also was responsible for a show called Extras, where he plays a movie extra, which was also incredible. He did another show called Derek, which was about a young man with learning difficulties that lived within a care home environment, which was just a beautiful show. Ricky Gervais, just to get out there before I start my review, I love Ricky Gervais's TV shows. I think the man's a genius. I just love how he writes. I even loved the movie that he did, David Brent on the Life on the Road, loved it. But I am not a fan of Ricky Gervais's stand-up humour. Although I do believe there is a place for that kind of humour for people that enjoy it. Personally, to me, I feel it does overstep some boundaries that I personally am not comfortable with. But that is me, that's a personal thing. It's not saying that he's not funny to other people. It's just sometimes his humour is a little bit cruel and hits on certain subjects that I personally am not comfortable with laughing about. So that's that out of the way. And I'm not saying people don't have the right to laugh at what they want to laugh about. That's just me. So Afterlife is a show, it's got 6 episodes, it's on UK Netflix at the moment. I don't know if you have it in the US just yet. It is about a man called Tony, played by Ricky Gervais, who has recently lost his wife with the name of Lisa to cancer. Like Derek, this show is very poignant. It's got subject matter that you would feel, how can you possibly make this into a comedy? You can't do this. It's possible, and he does it. Just it's so real, so poignant, and so funny. You wouldn't believe, it could possibly be done. So Ricky Gervais's wife Lisa is played by Kerry Godliman, who you will recognise if you watch the TV show Derek, also with Ricky Gervais. She starred in that alongside him. Also, there seem to be, from what I can see, Ricky Gervais does TV shows, and people that he has worked with always pop up in future shows. So he obviously seems to have a work ethic environment where people like him, people work with him, people, he obviously gets on very well with people he's worked with because he works with them again and again and again. So as well as the lady that plays Lisa, who we see in this movie through video clips, she has died of cancer before the show starts, and she has been recording a video diary for Tony that he can watch after she has passed. And this show follows him watching the segments of the diary she has left for him and trying to help him cope with her death.
I thought I'd leave you a little guide to life without me. You're lovely, but you're absolutely fucking useless. Stay active. It's not ideal to be a fat, lazy, self-pitying lump.
And just life, just him getting on with life and how he feels inside and all of that. His character has pretty much decided that he now has a superpower. He doesn't care if he lives or dies. He's depressed, he wants to be with his wife.
So how are you?
A good day is when I don't go around wanting to shoot random strangers in the face and then turn the gun on myself.
Bad then.
He doesn't believe in any form of afterlife, but a very poignant line within that is he would rather be nowhere with Lisa than somewhere without her. And that's very much the feel of the entire programme. He needs a reason to live again, and at the moment he doesn't have one. He's unfulfilled in his work. He doesn't feel close to any family, friends. He just feels that there's nothing in this life for him anymore, and the only reason he didn't kill himself is because his dog, beautiful, beautiful dog, was looking at him and was hungry and needed her dinner. And he said, I couldn't kill myself because who's going to feed the dog? Well, it sounds ridiculous, but this show is so poignant, is so touching, is so real, and in places, believe it or not, is so funny. I belly laughed out loud at certain parts of this programme, and it's hard to get that from me. I will chuckle, I will titter, I will giggle. To get an out and out belly laugh where I have to rewind what I've just seen, both to see it again and to hear what I missed because I was laughing. Ricky Gervais does this for me with every show that he makes. And he did this with this show. He made me cry. There were several parts of it that I welled up. The tears flowed, I couldn't help it. It's just such a heartwarming, very real, very, I'm sure, relatable to people that have been there and have been through this sort of bereavement. I can't say enough good things about this. I feel the man is a master when it comes to making you feel empathy, making you feel really uncomfortable, making you shuffle in your seat out of disgust or discomfort, making you sort of feel really uncomfortable with the jokes and with the humour that has just been, you've just watched. And he does actually deal with that in the show, where he goes to actually watch a stand-up comedian. His workmates try to cheer him up. His boss is his brother-in-law, his deceased wife's brother, and he tries to take him out to cheer him up to a comedy club, which really is not the sort of thing to do. And the comedian makes a joke about suicide, not the thing to do. And it's dealt with. They deal with that question of, this person doesn't know your personal circumstance, they're just trying to make someone laugh. You shouldn't decide to be offended because that personally makes you feel a certain way. That sort of whole side of things is dealt with, and I think very, very deliberately on Ricky Gervais's part, because I know he does get a bit of a hard time about some of his humour. And like I say, I personally am not a fan of that kind of really harsh, difficult to swallow humour, but I do believe it deserves its place for people that are fans of that kind of thing. I just really wanted to tell you guys how good this is, how just beautiful it is as a programme. It's just, Derek, I adored the show Derek. If you haven't seen Derek, check that out as well. I adored it, and I didn't think he'd get near to it with this, but he does. The character that he plays is a really contentious, horrible, irritable little man who you end up really being on the side of, that you want to see succeed, that you want him to find a reason to live, you want him to be happy. But you share in his grief, you share in his frustration, you share in his sorrow. You get to see the beautiful relationship he has with his wife, and how different he is as a man now that he has lost her. That fun and that childish humour that he used to have is gone, and life's hopeless. But, you know, it's about him trying to discover, is there something to live for, isn't there? And that's the whole point of the show. I could have watched double the amount of episodes of this. There are only 6. I was really enjoying it. My husband loved it. He's a fan of Ricky Gervais. I would thoroughly recommend this to you guys. As I say, there are a lot of faces that pop up in this that you will recognise. Also, we deal with dementia. He visits his father in a nursing home.
How's Lisa?
Oh, Jesus, she's dead, Dad.
Bring Lisa with you.
Fuck me.
And the nurse at the nursing home that he has he's quite attracted to, despite himself, is played by Ashley Jensen, who you may remember as his like co-star from Extras, an actress that I feel he works brilliantly with. So anyone really that he's worked with in a large capacity, they're just all over the place in this show. There's lots of new faces as well. We've got David Bradley, who's in Game of Thrones, plays his father. Kerry Godliman, as I said, plays his wife Lisa. Ashley Jensen plays his father's nurse in the nursing home. Paul Kaye is in this, as in Dennis Pennis, as in It's All Gone Pete Tong. He is such an accomplished actor and does not get the credit for how good he is. He plays Tony's psychiatrist in this, who is just like a goose farting in the fog. He's just useless. And Tony goes to see him anyway, as useless as he is. He's just a fantastic character. Penelope Wilton's in this as a lady that he meets at the graveyard who goes to visit her husband's grave, and he sits and chats to. They chat about their deceased spouses. So she's really good in this also. Joe Wilkinson, who plays the really pervy, disgusting guy in Derek. I can't remember his name. His character's exactly the same in this, actually. It's like almost a running joke. Roisin Conaty is awesome as this. She plays a sex worker called Roxy, and we get to see an entirely different side of the exterior bullshiness that she has. just the character development in this is beautiful. Jill Hartley, she was in Life on the Road, but just he has worked with all these people before and they all pop up again, which to me has to say something about his work ethic, about how he is to work with and about how he gets along with people he's worked with. So whether you do or do not like Ricky Gervais, whether you're a fan or you're not, check out Afterlife. For me, it's one of the best pieces of television I've seen in a long time. Well worth a watch. Check it out, guys.
I've seen lonely people, people dying, people in pain. I don't think I've ever met anyone quite as sad as him.
Got something for your front cover. Freddie Mercury's tooth.
He's disgusting.
Brian, not everyone can get in the paper.
Not everyone's fingered Jackie Collins.
Have you?
No.
Cheers.
Okay.
See you again.